Hi, Amid here. I'm going to be going over some Belveth gameplay. Don't know how many people would know this, but I have some history with this champion, and this is a higher level game, so it's pretty valuable. This was from last year, though, so some of these things may be slightly outdated. I know some people are also going crit on her now, like Navori, so I'm gonna take all this with a grain of salt. This is from prior season. Anyways, Belveth is one of the champions in the game where if you play everything perfectly, you can win, I think, every single game, no matter what rank it is. I think even not maybe not like a 2K game, right? But like 99.9% of games, if you play perfectly on this champ, you can win. But a problem like with that is that you need a lot of information from your teammates, and you need your teammates to act certain ways for those conditions to be met. So sometimes you can't play perfectly because you're not allowed to. So a lot of this goes into how you decide to play the champ. You can either play her and utilize how great she is 1v1, level 1 to the rest of the game. She's always going to be a great champ 1v1. So if you want to use that and abuse that, and also abuse the fact that she has a smite secure, she'll outsmite almost any character in the game. So if you want to use that, I think that's going to be your highest percentage chance of like carrying your games. Because I think playing her ideally means you're playing to get yourself as many resources as possible. So you usually want to be making plays that get you as ahead as you can. And making plays that get your teammates ahead is not necessarily the best for this character. But you do have some Belveths who will opt to full clear. The full clear is okay. Last season it was like 3 minutes and 2 seconds-ish, unless you're doing it. Maybe you can optimize and get like 257 or something, but I think 302 is like pretty standard for Belveth full clear. You can. Her full clear is not bad, but then you're putting the game in your teammates' hands. A lot of the better Belveths would say if you're not playing to get yourself ahead, you're pretty much like RNGing if you're going to win or not. And I agree to a certain extent. I think on the champ, because you have so much mobility and you have so much impact and like pressure, it's very easy to do too much. And this is a perfect example of that. This game is great. I have a really good opener in this game. You're gonna see I have a great first sequence. It's winning. Like, I think it's safe to say if I played the rest of the game out perfectly, it was an easy win. Like, would not have been close. But you'll see I make some bad decisions and I end up putting the game in a state where I could lose, and it doesn't matter that I had a great first couple of minutes. You know, I didn't use my lead and use my character in a way that got me the win. So I do think she's like high risk, high reward. And it's not even high risk necessarily, it's more like you need to perform really well, and if you do, you'll win the game. So I like that. Like, for me, I want to put the game in my hands, and I want to feel like I'm the person who decides if I win or lose. I don't want to play a character and feel like I had a perfect 5 minutes and I still lose the game. Yeah, it's very frustrating. So a character like this is great. It's one of the only characters in the game like this. There are probably some top lane characters who would like that as well. Maybe people would say Draven is also a similar character, where if you play perfectly, you can win most of your games. But yeah, again, it's a rarity that you have a character like this, so super strong. I would opt to invade level 1 in most games. The only times you won't is if you're red side and the enemy team has like a bard or something that can mess with you and not lose anything, before going back to lane. So for something like a bard, you may be more hesitant to look for that level 1 Raptor invade on red side. And there are also some mid lane characters who are hard to deal with level 1, excuse me, because on Belveth, even if a mid lane champ comes to help their jungler when you're taking the Raptors, if you smite correctly and play it out correctly, you'll not only get the camp and live, you'll likely kill one of them, if not both of them. Like, she's that strong with Conqueror level 1, and you're taking like double adaptive, flat health. You're also taking sudden impact, and you're going to be doing so much damage, and you'll have level 2, and with your W, it's just you're going to one shot them. So it's not actually very scary to look for that. But there's a lot of yapping. But I'm going to get into the replay soon. This is a game where I easily could have invaded this Echo. Echo's a really easy character to invade. It's free. He's not going to get the camp, and he probably has to flash out, and he'll probably still die if he tries to fight you for it. And Talon level 1 is nothing, right? He has no way to even proc his passive. So this is a super free game to invade level 1. But at the time, I recorded this because I had like a standard jungle coach who was like, hey, I want to see you stop invading level 1 and I want to see you play a more standard game. Because at the time I was getting stuck and I wasn't able to get out of my plateau. I wanted to, I wanted to hit 1 KLP and I was getting really frustrated. I couldn't figure out what I was doing. And he was like, well, I'd rather you stop playing the way that you play, try something a bit more standard just so you could learn about maybe what you're doing wrong and we can figure it out. He had a hard time like looking at my games where I was playing that way and like determining what was going on because he wasn't familiar with it. So that's beside the point. I ended up not using that coach anymore because I think just some people like who's like standard junglers that are very successful in the game, they don't understand or they don't agree with the idea of playing like this. They just think like you just full care, which is fine and that is correct for like most people. But anyways, that's completely unrelated. But anyway, this is a game where you would invade, 100% invade. Instead, I opt for a clear starting at my bot side. You'll see what I end up doing. This is something I did with the intention of looking bot, so I'll just tell you now, I'm going to start my Raptor. I should just wait, but anyway, I'm going to start my Raptors, I'm going to do my Prugs, I'm going to do my Red, and then from there, I'm either looking bot, so if my bot lane's pushing, I'm just going to go straight for an invade, because I have my bot lane prior. If my bot lane's fighting, I'm going to run bot. If they're pushing in, same thing, I'm going to run bot. So this opening gives you a lot of options in terms of what you want to do. And if there's nothing bot, or if it just for whatever reason, like my bot lane's taking bad trades, they couldn't help me if I'm in a 3v3 scenario, at that point, then maybe I will just opt to reset and go to my topside jungle. That would be worst case scenario. Also could at that point look mid if I want to cross to my other side and gank mid. There's a lot of different permutations here and different ways of going about it. So let's see, I finally start the match. And we'll also get into some of the clearing things for Belveth. Yeah, I think this is standard still, I would imagine, for jungling, but if you're going to start Raptors, it's usually Raptors, Prugs, and Red. So that's what I'm going to do this game. I think there are some games where if you can forecast, like it's a really volatile bot lane, like say it's like, what even is a volatile bot lane now? Maybe it's like Tristana versus Draven, something where like they want to be really aggressive early on. Maybe at that point, I would just, I would do Raptors Red Krugs just to save like a second or two and be in like a better position for that. But I guess most of the time it just makes more sense to just do your Raptors Krugs Red and then look. I'm going to start in this corner. I don't clear this perfectly, but you should clear this like a second half faster than what I do. I start a little bit late. Then I also miss 2 of these small ones with one of my Qs. So these all should be dead by now. It only wasted like, again, not much time, but could have been better. Here, most of the time, you'll just smite that instantly. You'll just smite the big Krug instantly. At least that's what other Belveths do. I've seen that happen a lot where as soon as they get to the camp, they'll just smite it and press E. I prefer it this way, but maybe it is faster to do it the other way. I guess I prefer smiting Red. But it isn't really a preference thing, it's just one is better than the other. So I'm going to guess that smiting the big Krug is actually better than smiting Red. It's more commonly done. Okay, I should be panning my camera bot here. I know that they died. I'm assuming that they traded it, cooldowns. They're missing some summoners, so like, I should know this. I also have chat off, so like, I should be more diligent and tracking what they're doing, but I'm lazy. But we get the double here, and at this point, the only option really is to reset and run to my top side. Either the Echo is on his bot side at this point, and he's probably like on his blue buff, or no, sorry, on his romp, most likely, or he ran to my top side, and I will make it in time to find him on one of my camps, assuming you didn't take just one and leave. If you try to take more than one camp, I'd likely run into him here. Just from a timing perspective, it takes more time to get to my jungle than it does take to his. And also, if he doesn't know that I'm bot, it would just take longer. not to get like super complex. Invading his bot side here may seem like it's okay, since I have my bot lane just reset, but I'm too low HP to really do anything. Even though I have flash, it's just not good. They also are looking to reset here, which I think is interesting. Don't know that I would reset there, but Nope, sorry, they keep hitting recall and canceling it, so I guess they're realizing they shouldn't reset, so that's good. So here, I have all my camps up, right? I'm seeing echoes not on anything. Spell's about to spawn. I have 4 camps I could take if I wanted to. Most of the time in Belveth, you'll skip blue. You usually don't take blue buff early on unless there's literally nothing to do on the map. So here you see I'm looking top lane. Now, when you look on the mini-map, he's in the middle of the lane. This should be fine. But my orange just threw a Q completely away from him. At this point, the play's over. I should just be running to my jungle and going back to clear, but it's like you get this bloodlust thing where like, okay, well, I'm here. I'm ganking. Like, that's it. I have all these tools. Like, it's just, at this point, though, it's just a bad gank, right? Obviously. If my Ornn hits that, it's good gank. We at least get his flash, but you have to think, like, is that good for Belveth? Do I want to be using my time getting a flash from a Mordekaiser when I have an Ornn anyway that just scales? Like, is it actually a good use of my time? And the answer is no. So it's a bad gank, and I waste so much of the tempo I fought so hard to get. I lose that because I went for a really bad gank. And also here, there could be arguments made for me trying to look to invade the Echo at this point. I could be using my lead to fight the Echo in his jungle. I personally am more of a fan of ganking my lanes than I am of invading past a certain point of time, like stage of the game. Like eventually, I don't know. I just prefer at some point to start cycling my own camps and looking for ganks in my lanes. This gank bot. I'm not panning my camera again. Pretty lazy. Also not sure if this is warded or not. From the way they're moving, I'm going to assume it is warded. And this is another time sink where I'm wasting my time. I should have been just looking anything else on the map that's not this. I guess nothing was up, so I figured, well, might as well. But I could have again looked to invade the Echo or done anything else, but end up having to flash out, which is not a huge deal. Like anything like horrible happened, but I'm not pressing my lead. I'm making poor decisions, and now I'm typing really nice things to my teammates, even though, like, you know, it's my fault. Even if they could have played something better, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's up to you to carry games. You can't be mad at your teammates for not being good. It's up to you. So that's basically it. I think I run the recording for a little bit longer, and I think this is a really good example of a game where you could tell I could have easily carried this game if I had just played out differently, and it would have not been close. Like, I would have been super far ahead. And if I did invade the Echo, or I did just do my camps and not go for bad plays, like, the game looks entirely different. So, just to show you, like, or talk about, like, common openings for Belveth, what an ideal game looks like for her, what her goals are, and also just to go over briefly, I'm sure you probably know this if you play Belveth, but you just want stats on this champ, so you'll just get as much raw stats as you can. So yeah, I'll get a bunch of long swords, I'll get daggers. You do want to get tier 1 boots though, so even though it does feel bad sometimes, you should be getting tier 1 boots early on. It's too important not to have. So if you need to forego a long sword to get boots, you probably should do that. Unless you're backing with like 700 gold, you don't want just long sword and boots. At that point, you just get the 2 long swords and accept the fact you're gonna be slow. Anyways, I hope this was helpful a little bit even. I love this character. I love the playstyle. I love the pressure to perform and all of that. And I like having to work through ELO and really feel like you earned it. So if you feel the same way, you love this character. If you play her, I very happy that you would found this video. So anyways, thanks for watching.